Is this the best EV deal available before September 30th? I drove all the way to Allentown, Pennsylvania to meet my buddy Eric and find out. Let's drive the ZDX. So screen, the ZDX is bigger than the Prologue. It is exactly the same ergonomic setup and a little bit bigger size-wise. The steering wheel is the Blazer steering wheel. No Super Cruise button. That's the only thing I see that's different. These are smartly, unlike the Cadillac, the matte plastic instead of the shiny crystalline plastic like the Optic and Lyriq have. I like this better. I like this material here. That's a luxury feel. No piano black over here. The only piano black is here, and this is exactly the same. That's an Elite Prologue. Cup holders are big and juicy and happy like the Prologue, unlike the Blazer, which is the cup holders in the back seat. He said he doesn't like the cubby. I kind of like the cubby. My wife has a Max, and in order to get that to fit the little lay down on the Max, you actually have to physically push it in because of the OtterBox. This is well appointed here. It just makes it one thing, and it's driver centric. I do like the exposed USB-C ports. I have to open a cubby. You have the lower storage. You have the Lyriq size. This is nice. This is like if the BZ4X did it correctly. It shields instead of like having this like human seats right here. Trim is A-spec, no Type S. You have the cooled seats, which are phenomenal, and Acura did it correctly. The Prologue has auto up front seat. This has auto up front and back seat. The Blazer has auto up driver only. But if you get into one of these Ultium units, it's gonna feel this way. I really like how they didn't use piano black for the actual touch point of this. I love that.
All right, so the driving mode either right now is my individual mode, which is like really low powered and smooth to save tires.
That's what I want.
Okay, nice. But if you want to try it full bore, they also have the, they've got the mode selector over there on the left.
So what I can tell you about full bore is this thing has too much. The Prologue had just enough. I'm sure this is probably somewhere in between.
It's got 490 horsepower.
Yeah, so way more than any human being could ever need.
It's fun.
Oh, I'm sure. You don't need any of the power, but it is there. Here's your lifetime trip meter.
Yes.
You're at 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour. When I sold my Prologue, if you want to know how much of a grandpa I am, when I sold my Prologue, it was 3.7.
That's amazing.
11,000 miles.
This is also, I don't know if it's much heavier than the Prologue. It's over 3 tons.
This is bigger, heavier. It has this battery, but it has Lyriq size. So yeah, it is definitely a much bigger car, which we'll look at when we look at the inside. A-spec down here. This is so much more premium than the Prologue. It's like take the Prologue and make the entire interior of it premium. Power button is here. I love this. Let's go for a short drive. You've got the one pedal driving on. He uses high. So I'm gonna find out what high is like. I've tried it one time. This is noticeably smoother than the Prologue. And I just got out of my Blazer, and it's also noticeably smoother than the Blazer. So if you wanna know who won the game of suspension, I am sure size has a lot to do with it too. You had a Model Y, yes?
Yes.
And that's any other EVs in the family so far, or is this the second?
This is my third.
It's your third, okay.
Not including the Model Y.
So tell me your experience.
The first EV that we had, we came from a 2 Prius family.
Oh, okay.
Like 7 years ago.
Pre-I,
yes.
Plural, yes.
We loved the EV mode that you got for 2 minutes at a time. So the first car that I drove was a first generation Nissan Leaf. I want to say maybe it had 120 miles of range total.
On a very beautiful day with the windows open and the climate off. Right?
Exactly. And so it got to the 3rd year of ownership, and we were in the winter, and we were down to like 70 miles,
right?
Of range, and I was like, this just isn't
30 of which you can use because you want to have a little bit at the bottom.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, so then we decided to go with the 2nd generation Leaf, which was great. 150 miles battery pack, but it actually kept the 150 miles most of the time.
That's what I really liked about the Leaf is for the money, it came with like a ton of features, and for a go around town or a short road trip, it was like unbeatable. So you're a double Leaf. This is your 3rd car. This is a massive upgrade.
Yes. And it was really just a spur of the moment decision when we saw the lease deals.
Okay, so tell me about that.
So the lease that we ended up doing was a 1-pay lease. It's a 2-year lease.
Okay.
It was all in at $9,600, which is the all payments on the lease for 2 years.
Yes.
Plus taxes, title,
taxes,
all that
title,
stuff.
it's literally an out the door 90. So you're under 10,000 for 2 years.
For 2 years
total.
7,500 miles, which I'm gonna break. 7,500 miles a year. But the residual, I think, is 31,000.
Wow. That tells a story. I think these EVs are going to go down as extremely stupid value because we've got that tax credit going away.
Yes.
Right? We're going to lose that. So as far as value, like if I had a Mount Rushmore, what are your top 3 things that you like about this?
Number 1 is just the smoothness and the quietness, even beyond another EV that's already built for quietness and smoothness. It's just so comfortable.
There's no comparison here between this and a Tesla. Even my wife's 24 with re-engineered suspension. Have you ever been in another car that is more luxurious than this, period, as far as ride quality?
That I can remember, no.
Okay.
No. And now I know that people kind of dig on it because the interior is GM, and it's not even like Cadillac GM, it's GM.
This is
great.
Great.
And they say for an Acura, you'd expect more from an Acura. I think this is one of the most luxurious interiors that I can think of.
Yeah, this makes the Prologue look embarrassing as far as that. You have Bang Olufsen, is that the stereo?
Yes, 18 speakers.
Okay, and I'm sure it's way better than what the Prologue has, because the Prologue is like, if you were a very nice person and you really don't have a lot of audio experience, you would give the Prologue stereo a B-. And so this is, oh man, it has exactly the right amount of pickup. It has exactly the right amount of regen. I like this car as far as driving and riding. I like it better than my Blazer SS.
Now, one thing I was noticing about off one of your videos, you just released.
Yeah.
You were talking about some of the creature comforts that the Blazer has.
Okay.
Now, one of the things that I really like about the Blazer is the screen setup. The screen here is a nice size. There's nothing bad about it. But the way that yours kind of wraps around and the Google Maps is super wide, that I really like about your car.
Yeah, it's like a cockpit versus a car.
Yeah.
So, and this is, like I said, this is kind of, so the words that come to mind here, first, number 1 for me is luxury. Number 2 for me is smooth, and number 3 for me is pedestrian as a compliment. So what I like about this is that I can feel all the luxury, like this little polished aluminum accent right here. This adds, that's flavor right there. That's piano black in the Prologue, right? I'm not talking about this specific area, but like the premium attempt in the Prologue is piano black. Is there any piano black on here except this?
No, and I'm so happy about that.
Yeah, you have the lip of the screen.
Okay,
and
yes.
So this is a Prologue with lyric suspension and size and piano black delete. You don't get that in the lyric either. The lyric is made out of piano black, but like it's diamond shape. So even a professional with a wet microfiber towel doesn't get all the nooks and crannies. To be honest, okay, my conclusion, and regardless of how much time I get to spend with this car today, my conclusion is going to be that this is the most luxurious Ultium platform outside of the Hummer. So that's my conclusion. You have a 102 kilowatt hour battery. You got 190 max charge speed, right?
Yes.
So you have the faster charging. You have the luxury. You don't have the piano black. You have the pedestrian interior with all the upgrades except, like you said, the large screen, and the only thing this is missing is lane centering.
It ping-pongs from lane, from side to side.
Yes.
And that's about it. I feel like for a 70,000 MSRP car, it should have lane centering.
But it's not. Who paid $70,000 for these, right? Your
The
first
original
weekers?
owners, yes.
Your first weaker, right? I have been dying for a ZDX forever, and I've been doing research, and I bought the very first one that they got. Other than that, these were in the 400s, right? 389 to, I'd say probably 600 a month as far as a lease for everyone, right? In the 600s, those were Type S A-Spec.
Yes.
Right? Type S has air suspension, and the Type S has Super Cruise. What are your plans at the end of the lease? Are you going to say, okay, that was a great experience, I want the next thing? Or are you going to say, you know what, I want to buy this? And does that lane centering missing contribute to that decision?
If it were today, I'd probably buy this car.
Okay.
Because like you said, most of the long trips that we take, we use the Tesla, and it does great on, on autopilot.
Right. How did you end up with an Acura? So you had 2 Leafs, right? And
Yes.
do you have any other experience with Honda Acura, or was this just oh my goodness, this deal's too good to pass up? How was your shopping experience?
There was no shopping experience.
Okay.
It was either this or the Prologue, and the deal on this put it about $4,000 more.
I would have picked what you picked. Now, of course, I had a Fisker Ocean. No one was taking money for these things. They gave me some massive deal, so I said yes, and I had to pay full price. So I didn't get a deal on my Prologue. Me and 12 other people, my buddy Tony included, who also had to get out of his Fisker before they went bankrupt. But this is just a phenomenal deal. I would say overall, and you have the roof is the same. So the roof it opens halfway,
Yes.
You can slide it all the way back.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I would say deal-wise, if I had a choice, I would have gotten this trim of ZDX as well. I don't need the Super Cruise, and I drove here all the way on Super Cruise. I say drive very lightly because I didn't do very much driving at all.
That was the one thing I missed on our way here. I was thinking, oh man, it'd be really nice to just kind of let it stay in the lane and do it.
Now, are you an FSD guy?
No, I mean we've done it.
Okay, but
we
you
don't have it.
You don't have it. Okay,
No.
So what is it? $99 a month?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay,
So if we
now-
go on a long trip, we'll turn it on.
Okay, you do it the economical, smart way. But the difference between driving this and the Blazer I just drove here and the Prologue I already put 12,000 miles on is nothing. It's just this is longer and more comfortable. So if you're shopping right now, and if you're shopping, hurry, because September 30th is the end of the road, and God knows what happens to these. Do they become $70,000 cars? I think what they become then is paperweights. No one's going to buy this for $70,000, knowing that, because what's that hit? That's like a $40,000 drive off the lot, right? Because these sell for like 35, 40, depending on the mileage. Tell me the story of how you ended up at the Acura dealership. Are you a shopper? Are you a price comparer? What's your shopping process as far as looking for something new? Or was it just, I want something electric and I'm looking at everything?
We owned the Leaf outright at
Okay.
that point, and it was fine. It's a great family car for around town. We love driving the Leaf. There was no plan to get rid of it.
Okay.
It was just that Acura had continued to come out with these better and better deals every month, because I guess they weren't selling this car.
Okay, so are you an EV content consumer? Is that where
Yes.
okay, so that's where you found out about.
Yes.
Okay, so
So I saw that, and I said to my wife, I said, you know what would you think about this? And she was like, it's more space, a nicer drive. The Leaf is pretty harsh. It's not terrible, but it's not a great drive.
my son has a Bolt, so it gets you A to B.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot you can say other than that. It's,
Yeah.
It's like a base model RAV4 as far as comfort.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. It's fine. So, so we went to the Acura dealership, drove it, loved it, and then they matched the deal that they had. Actually, it was better than the national deal that they had at that point.
Wow.
At the
Okay.
dealership. And so shout out to Springfield Acura in New Jersey.
Springfield Acura, go see
yeah.
them.
Yeah. They're I think they're the largest Acura dealership in New Jersey.
Okay, so that's how I bought both of mine. I bought them both from C. Harper, which is like in my area. That's like the volume dealer.
Yep.
And the thing about Hondas is not all of them, but a decent amount of them, Honda and Acura, are like family-owned, single-unit type of deals.
Yes.
And so when you have those, my mom just bought an HRV. By the way, do not recommend. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. Don't buy an HRV. They're not worth it. Don't buy a gas car at all. But my mom wanted this. She had this specific want for the HRV, so I aggressively price shopped, and my hometown dealer couldn't even come within $2,000 of my best deal from, where I got it. But
I ran into the same situation with Acura.
okay,
There's a much closer dealership, actually 2 or 3 closer to where I live.
okay,
And one of them I called, and they said, oh, we don't have any on the lot, and we're not doing any deals.
wow. So they first of all, no. Secondly, not going to order. Third, if you do order and we decide to get it for you, you're just wasting your money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, if you are shopping for EVs, do not go to your local guy. Price shop, compare. Every dealer has a different floor plan, and they are all trying to do different things. And also every state with these EVs, it really makes a difference, right? Because so New Jersey tax credit, were you able to get any of that, or?
No, they actually did away with the They don't have any EV credits, and they actually just started charging sales tax for them again.
Wow.
They didn't at first.
Do you get attention? Do people ask you what is that, or are people just mistaking this for an MDX all day?
My guess is people think it's an MDX, but also in New Jersey, it's the land of BMW, northern New Jersey at least. BMW, Mercedes, Acuras. So
you make a right turn and there's a Lamborghini and a Maserati parked beside each other, right?
I don't think it stands out because it's just kind of, there's a lot of people driving a lot of premium vehicles.
Now tell me about...
But I have had people ask. I remember one guy came up to me and said, oh, what kind of deal did you get on that one? I hear they're blowing them out. So he knew.
Okay. Okay, so people are paying attention maybe to what they are, but it's not a standout type of thing. So for me, I live in small town America, and nobody cared about the Prologue except other Honda owners. The Blazer like transcends sentiment when it comes to that. But what I like about this is the pedestrianness. Do you want a car that is more showy, or is this enough for you?
I like the interior because it's kind of minimalist. And it's not as minimalist as a Tesla. I like the fact that it has buttons for things that it needs buttons for, and everything else is in the screen. And then it's kind of just very, like you said, pedestrian or streamlined.
That's a compliment, though.
Now, I do like the exterior styling a lot. And
I think it's beautiful.
I think it's head turning.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. I think in any other neighborhood other than, like you say, like northern New Jersey, what's the county in New York right beside Manhattan?
Oh, Westchester?
Yeah, Westchester County. It's kind of like the coolest thing on four wheels. And I love the fact that you have the 20s. You won't have to pay a lot when it's time. I love the fact that they're all blacked out, so it doesn't matter what size they are. You're not missing any aesthetic there. I don't think you take a hit on aesthetic. The Blazer is like 17 different color wheels, and there's gold brakes, and so if every single scratch is going to be like an emotional reaction from me. But if you are not price shopping for the absolute cheapest Ultium platform vehicle, this is going to be close to the bottom, or at least in the bottom middle. And every extra dollar you pay over whatever you were going to get, like an Equinox or whatever, is going to be worth it in gold. So I cannot thank you enough, Eric, for doing this. Let's show them the exterior, and we'll celebrate owning some great GMs. Thanks again, man.
Fantastic. My pleasure. Thanks, Adam. That was it's a pleasure to have you in the car.
Hey, smash the like button.
Thank you.